The Eastern Front was a silent, psychological war fought in the dark, frozen wastes. The Soviet sniper was an invisible executioner, a ghost with a rifle. Celebrated by Moscow, hunted by Berlin, their terrifying contract demanded 12 hours of stillness for one single, history-altering pull of the trigger. We step into the lezhashka to follow Sergeant Yelena Petrova, her days measured by breath, patience, and the Mosin-Nagant's devastating efficiency. We track the meticulous preparation, the agonizing wait, and the final catastrophic moment of the shot. The entire war narrows down to a fraction of a second. Preparation and patrol. The sniper's day began long before dawn. Around 3 o'clock, Senior Sergeant Yelena Petrova, fighting near Kursk, rose in the coldest, darkest hours. Her morning was a solitary ritual of focused preparation, knowing her weapon was her lifeline and her greatest responsibility. The sacred tool. Her life revolved around the Mosin-Nagant PU sniper rifle. Yelena meticulously cleaned the bolt assembly, essential for smooth operation during a duel. Since the Mosin was a rugged bolt-action weapon, every shot was a slow, loud, 4-stage operation that demanded immediate stillness or relocation after firing. The PU optical scope was crude but reliable. Yelena checked its zeroing and ensured the glass was spotless. She carried about 120 scrutinized rounds, mixing standard ammunition with high-explosive incendiary rounds for hard targets like machine guns. The final preparation involved securing the turned-down bolt handle, which prevented collision with the scope during cycling. Briefing and objective. By 4 o'clock, Yelena received her brief. Her mission was not to hold the line, but to decapitate the enemy. Targets were prioritized: officers, artillery observers, and especially machine gun crews. Eliminating one high-value target could prevent an enemy assault and save dozens of Soviet lives. This role was both tactical and psychological. Her kills demoralized German infantry, confirming the invisible, omnipresent threat celebrated in Soviet propaganda. The stalk, the hide, and the wait. Moving to the lezhashka or lying-up position was the most dangerous phase. Yelena and her spotter crossed the churned earth under pre-dawn darkness. Camouflage and concealment. Camouflage was a living art. Whether in Stalingrad rubble or a winter thicket, Yelena had to become the terrain. She used ghillie suits, local materials, and facial makeup to break her outline. Every shadow or reflection was eliminated to create an amorphous presence the enemy's eye would naturally overlook. The sixes tactic and the periscope. In urban warfare, the sixes tactic prioritized confusion. 3 two-man teams covered the same area. If one fired, the others provided covering fire or remained still, preventing the enemy from pinpointing the shot's origin. Yelena and Ivan established their hide. They used a trench periscope to scan without exposing themselves. Patience became absolute. She remained immobile for 12 hours or more, breathing controlled. Any twitch or cough could draw fire. This state required extreme endurance and a near-meditative focus amidst the constant, low-level stress of the front. The hour of engagement, precision, and psychological warfare. As the sun climbed, shedding brighter light on the German-held sector, the period of observation began, transitioning from waiting to hunting. Observation and target selection. The sniper's eye was their greatest weapon. Yelena hunted for anomalies, a flicker of glass, an unusual shadow, or an officer's binoculars. She calculated distance using the PU scope's reticle, compensating for wind and bullet drop over 400 meters. Targets were those who crippled the enemy's ability to fight, like officers, fire support, and optics. Yelena ignored easy targets. The art of sniping was about target quality, not just the kill count. The shot. After hours of stillness, the target appeared, a German sergeant, repairing a barricade, 500 meters out. Yelena checked the wind and held her breath, setting the crosshairs. The Mosin-Nagant's heavy trigger required a smooth, conscious squeeze. The 7.62 mm report was sharp, recoil obscured the view, and the sergeant dropped. Confusion followed. Yelena immediately initiated the counter-sniper drill. Instead of cycling the bolt, the experienced move was to stay frozen or crawl to a pre-dug bolt hole. The shot's sound instantly drew the attention of enemy marksmen. The counter-sniper duel. The ultimate test was the counter-sniper duel, a terrifying game of human chess, often lasting hours or days, like the legendary Vasily Zaitsev versus Major Kig showdown. The duel required elaborate deception. Yelena and Ivan used decoys, a helmet or dummy, to draw fire. The enemy's single mistake, the muzzle flash or puff of dust, was their only chance. The countershot had to be instantaneous and final. Surviving a duel affirmed the Soviet soldiers' superior skill and will. The twilight extraction and the weight of command. As the light faded, Yelena prepared for the risky final phase. Extraction from the lezhashka. Retreat and documentation. Moving at twilight was risky due to low visibility and the chance of friendly fire. Back in the damp Mosin-Nagant dugout, exhaustion immediately hit. The first mandatory task was always cleaning the rifle to prevent malfunction. The second was reporting. Yelena documented the quality of her kills, not just the count, often requiring eyewitness confirmation. Her detailed intelligence report on enemy command and morale was frequently more valuable than kill tallies. Though propaganda still prized high counts for morale, isolation, and the psychological toll. Despite being a celebrated hero, the sniper's life was defined by professional isolation. Forced into monastic solitude, Yelena saw the enemy close up, a man sharing a ration, not a fleeting uniform. This intimacy created an acute psychological burden. While fighting for the motherland provided duty, the emotional cost was immense. Snipers had to internalize that they were not just combatants, but executioners picking off specific individuals. This created a profound psychological split between the cold marksman and the young citizens struggling with the weight of the kill. A Soviet sniper's day was an ultimate test of endurance and tactical mastery. It started in the dark, with the Mosin-Nagant endured hours of stillness in the lezhashka, and ended in the catastrophic shot. The sniper corps served as the Red Army's most potent psychological weapon. They crippled German command and frayed the nerves of the Wehrmacht by existing as an invisible, omnipresent threat. The individual soldier, celebrated as a symbol of Soviet will, carried the brutal necessity of professional detachment. Their quiet, disciplined dedication, armed with a rifle and resolve, profoundly influenced the largest war in history.